Shalom, Kol Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sensor Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami Camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is going to be a quick little walk and talk. It's something I've been meditating on through the spirit these past couple of days. Something I've been asking myself. Something that goes out to me first, a question that I believe we should all ask ourselves. Okay, it's good to ask yourself hard questions, right? Or propose hard questions for other brothers to answer. And because a lot of times you have issues with Jake, right? Before I start a lesson, so like, sometimes you have issues with Jake and you have issues with yourself. A lot of times when you have certain problems, or when brothers have certain problems, they don't see them. Okay? A lot of time you telling Jake about their self, as we should. That's true love. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart, but rebuke thy brother. Roughly paraphrasing, and suffer not sin upon him. So when you see a brother doing something off, you're supposed to tell that brother in a respectful, seasoned with salt, in a graceful way. As the scriptures say, with meekness, considering thyself also, lest thou also be tempted. You gotta speak as it, knowing that you can get caught up in that same problem, right? So it's good to ask questions, and that way people can not condemn their own self, but like Yahweh Shai said, thou hast said. Yahweh Shai asks a lot of questions. Certain people coming at him sideways, different scribes and Pharisees and wicked Jake, he'd throw a question back at them. They asked him a question, he throw a question at them. So you get people to vocalize their own sin, their own problems, or whatever it is, and that helps Jake see it when it's coming out of their own mouth. Then they see, damn, okay. And then they think, and a lot of time you don't even need an answer. You just propose the question and, tell the brother, hey, this is a question you should ask yourself, brother. I'm not looking for an answer, but this is a question you should ask yourself. And that question I want to ask in this lesson is, do you really see or view yourself as a prince of the power? Do you really view yourself as a prince of power? And again, this is a question that I ask myself first. Because we understand that we are Yashar Allah, right? We're the nation of Israel, the Most High's people, the people of the power. We call ourselves Israelites. We keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. We rehearse the righteous acts. That's all we can do, is just rehearse the righteous acts. We practice different spiritual practices, and have this is our faith. We show faith. We do the work. First and foremost, we have all these actions to back up our faith. Yet and still we have to ask ourselves this question: and be totally honest with ourselves. Okay? Before I get this, let me read what's that? Romans 14, I believe. Romans 14. No, okay, no, that's 13, I believe. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahweh Shai Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. NLT says, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Okay, right. You have to test yourself. I mean, you ask yourself certain questions and keep it real with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you know you lacking in a certain area, especially if no brothers is telling you about it, because other brothers may not see it, you have to ask yourself these questions, because of course the Lord sees it. And it's, even especially if a brother tells you about it. But in order for you to actually do something about it, you have to acknowledge it yourself. You have to be able to see it yourself, acknowledge it yourself, and move accordingly. But if you kid yourself, if you fool yourself, then you can't even begin to fix the issue. Okay, so we have to test ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves questions. Those hard questions that may take you some time to actually think about. And you may say, you ask a brother a question like this, or you ask yourself this, and you may say, yeah. Just, yeah, of course. Because you don't want to sound off. You don't want to sound doubtful. Okay, but you should really consider. Okay, which that word consider, con with cedar, goes back to stars. I forget whether that's Latin or whatever, but the etymology of the word consider is with stars, meaning to look at the stars. Nigga dogs. Okay. To look at the stars. When you gazing up into the stars, that's something you actually, you're gonna do it for a couple minutes, at least a few minutes. You're really pondering. You're really thinking about it. So to truly examine yourself, it shouldn't be a quick thing. Oh yeah, I'm good. You look in the mirror, If you go and look in the mirror, you probably was doing something. You could be dirty. You could be looking crazy. You want to go talk to a nice young lady, which is damn near hard to find, But you want to talk to a nice young lady, you look in the mirror to make sure you're on point and make sure you're, ain't nothing in your teeth, your hair ain't crazy. Your face not ashy, you ain't got nothing on your face. You don't have a stain on your shirt. You're not gonna just look in the mirror 1 second, oh yeah, I'm good. Nah, you're gonna actually look. You're gonna take your time and actually look. That's being real with yourself. So when you're examining yourself, again, it shouldn't be, oh yeah, I know I'm good. You should be actually looking, carefully thinking, am I really on point? Is my faith really genuine? It's easy to just say, yeah, of course. But that's having a prideful mentality. That's having a proud look. You just know you on point. You just know you ain't doing nothing wrong. When we are in the flesh. Okay? So this is something you have to really think about. Alright? Let's read it again. NLT verse 5. Examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine.
Hello, Bobby.
Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahawashi HaMashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. Okay? So, ultimately, we know Yahawashi is in us. We know we have this truth. We know we have the correct faith. So, like it says in verse 6, but I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Which is honest, do the right thing before. Okay, so ultimately, you're supposed to know you're not a reprobate. You're supposed to know that you're in the truth. So your actions should reflect that. Again, back to the question. Do you really view yourself as a prince of the power? And that's a question to myself first. So, are you treating yourself like a prince of power? Are you sticking your dick in anything? Are you sticking anything in your mouth, eating anything? You know what I'm saying? Are you spending too much time in something that's unproductive? Something that's not benefiting you in the long term spiritually. And talking about is that something like that consuming you? Okay. Again, back to when I spoke about, are you eating anything? Because you should eat like a prince. If you truly view yourself as a prince of power, you won't eat anything just because it's lawful. Oh, it's lawful. You won't use the excuse of everything being defiled. Okay? You see a brother trying to improve on his diet, but you're like, shit, everything defiled. It's all defiled. That is weak and pathetic. That's a weak and pathetic defeatist mindset. Okay? Meaning you won't even try. Okay? Again, if you truly view yourself as a prince of power, you're gonna have standards. You're not gonna try to hit any woman just because she's offering it. You're not gonna allow certain women to touch you at all. And have I been guilty of, not having standards in the past? Yeah. Certain women, especially the so-called black woman, she's a demon. She's off. She's wicked as all hell. They do all type of filthy abomination. A lot of time, most black women I see on the street, I don't make eye contact with them. I don't look at them. They disgust me most of the time. Right? Another thing, Another thing, that alcohol. Okay, it's just had to be talked about. You know, certain, a lot of brothers may not want to have that conversation. I ain't want to have that conversation. Okay, I was overdoing it with the drink. I've been guilty of that for sure. If you truly view yourself as a prince of the power, you're not gonna be drinking multiple drinks of hard liquor multiple nights a week. You just won't. If you really are a prince in real life, you can't do that. Not in these bodies. And still be on point and be able to judge correctly, judge righteous judgment. Not for long. Maybe if you're a young man. But eventually that shit gonna catch up with you. And I'm speaking from experience. That's how the hell I know. That's loser shit. I'm gonna just keep it G. That's loser shit. Okay? When I drank like that, I was a loser. That's just is what it is. Okay? Now of course the scriptures say what they say about wine. Wine, even at that's not hard liquor. But wine, what it says, measurably drunken in season, maketh the heart glad. It's a good thing. And again, the wine we drink today is really bullshit, and that's wine. But hard drink, that's multiple nights a week, and you shouldn't be drinking like that. So let's go back. This is James chapter 1 and verse so I'll be quick to listen. I'm gonna just get to the point. This is James chapter 1 and verse 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. NLT says, so get rid of all the filth and evil in your lives, and humbly accept the word the Most High has planted in your hearts, for it has the power to save your souls. And nigga behavior is something we all engaged in prior to this truth. I know surely myself. But as the scriptures say, you have to put on that new man. Every day the old man should be fading away, and that new man should be manifesting. And again, I'm talking to myself first. This is a daily process. So you shouldn't be the same person you was. Let's say you've been in this truth for 10 years, right? 6, 7, 8 years. You shouldn't be the same brother that you were 4 years ago. You shouldn't be the same. And of course, I don't mean the brothers who just totally just start acting brand new and different every year, reinventing yourself. No, that's not what I mean. You should be improving and growing, just like a child. Even, let's not even you. Well, yeah, a child, right? They hit different growth spurts. They're supposed to grow physically and develop. They're supposed to reach certain milestones by a certain age. So you have a child that's 7, right? He shouldn't be the same height at 12. If so, something is wrong. Okay, so I'm using it as an example. You've been in the truth 12 years. You shouldn't be the same brother that you were, at year 7. I'm talking to myself first. You shouldn't be the same brother that you were 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Every day we should be getting better, striving for excellence. And of course, it's easier said than done, but these are things that must need be. If you truly view yourself as a prince of power, you're going to agree with me. Which is not me, Salakia. This is what we bringing out the scriptures. Right? So, getting rid of all the filth and evil in our lives, that came from being in the world. Attributes and habits and things like that we picked up in the world should be getting dropped. The same standards that you had in the world. When you in the world, you're probably you probably was on certain things. You ate a certain way, and just because you're keeping a dietary law don't mean your diet is good. You can still have a horrible diet and still keep the dietary laws. Okay? And the Spirit has men going into these certain topics more and more through the Spirit. It's just the Spirit. Because certain brothers may think that these type of conversations are not really important and not that serious, so they may downplay it. But these conversations are deadly serious. Who you choose to stick your dick in can have deadly consequences. You can receive a deadly consequence for putting your rod into a woman. She could be it could be totally lawful. You're not committing adultery. She don't got no man. You know what I mean? But she's off. She's not right. And us as judges in training should be able to see that and stay away from that. What you decide to eat on a daily basis can have deadly consequences. Okay? And the same goes for whether you want to drink or whether you want to do, going out and partying, right? You want to go out. A lot of Jake go out with the hopes of getting some cheeks. So you go out hanging out all night. Like Pharrell said, we're up all night to get lucky. And you don't get lucky, right? The Lord don't throw you a bone. And now you broke her, more tired, because you lack in sleep. You can end up running into somebody and having an altercation. Something could happen that could physically harm you when you're out and about, because there's nothing but judgment going on out here. That doesn't mean the Lord won't allow brothers to go out and have a good time, right? But shit like that's being up all night trying to get lucky. That ain't cool, man. Now if the Lord has it to where you may be a certain brother that be able to get women easy. Cool, but if you're not that brother and you're not that brother, why are you going out week after week? I'm just speaking in general, because this is something that I've been guilty of. I'm talking everything I'm saying is speaking from experience, because I was that brother. You know what I mean? I just keeping it G. When I came to the truth as a very young man, and the Lord knows how He created us. But that's loser behavior. You fucking up your self-esteem anyway. Like people say, it's a numbers game. How many numbers can you get? That's what Jake like to do, to go out and see how many numbers they can get. So you talk to, let's say you talk to 20 chicks, you may get 3 numbers, and out of those 3 numbers, one might text you back. and she still play games with you. But again, you got certain brothers that can get women, and if you're not that brother, you're not that brother. You shouldn't be going out getting rejected by multiple chicks every weekend. That shit fucks with your self-esteem. That shit fucks with your confidence. It fucks with your own self-image. So you may say, yeah, I'm a prince of the power, but do you really view yourself like that? And again, I'm talking to myself. Do I really view myself as a prince of the power? Because certain shit I wouldn't do if I truly believe that. Deep down inside, yes, we truly do believe that. But are we walking accordingly? Are we actually behaving and treating ourselves like princes of the power? Princes of power. Royal, godly men. Okay, verse 22, James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, receiving your own selves. Okay, so we have to walk the walk. We have to talk the talk and walk the walk. Or if not, you're deceiving yourself. And again, this is going into walking in the spirit, because again, you could have a horrible diet and keep the dietary law, right? And you're not eating nothing unclean, but it can still be a horrible diet that can lead to your death. Okay, you can be keeping different sexual laws properly. You're not dealing with women with men. It's so you're not sinning and still go off. That could really hurt you. It's not a sin to go out and have a good time, but it can get messed up. So again, these are just questions that we need to ask ourselves. Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Right? NLT says, for if you listen to the word and don't obey, it's like you glancing at your face in a mirror. KJV, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Okay, NLT says, but if you look carefully into 24, you see yourself, walk away and forget what you look like. So again, do you truly view yourself as a prince of the power? When you look in the mirror, do you truly see a prince of power? Well, when you walk away from that mirror, you're supposed to still see yourself like that and move like one. Verse 25, but whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, right? Law of liberty. and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the word, this man shall be blessed in his deed. So if we truly behave as princes of power, the Lord will bless us for that. And we have to love ourselves. We truly have to love ourselves. We truly have to love the Lord, of course, first and foremost. But you have to love yourself. You have to love who the Lord created you to be. And if you have a problem with, if you can't do that as who you are right now in the present, that's a problem. And of course it takes time, but you should be growing. You may have had an ugly phase growing up, a fat phase or whatever, have pimples or growing pains, awkwardness. We all know the story of the ugly duckling. We all knew the chick that was not easy on the eyes, not light on the eyes, as the scriptures say. But you see her today, you like, damn, that's you. So that girl growing up, she couldn't view herself. She couldn't love herself because she was in an ugly phase. But she probably should love herself now. And I'm using the analogy with us, and it's truth. We go through lows, we go through phases, and your confidence goes down. Right? Righteous man falls 7 times, but get it back up. And when you get up, you're supposed to be moving up than before. We're in an upward trajectory, meaning we're continuously going up. But we fall, we go down, but when we get back up, we continue going up. So you should be going higher and higher. As you go higher and higher, you should be developing more love for who the Lord is creating you to be, forming you to be, and He's formed you to be like Yahweh Shai. So you should love yourself more and more as you become better in the spirit, as you grow in the spirit. And we are to be humble with that. So I just have to say that too. This is not something to be proud about, or it's a balance. This is something that you tell yourself, not to make other people view you a certain way. This is for your own self-image and your own confidence. All right. So that's pretty much it. It's something I wanted to say through the Spirit, Lord willing. That's pretty much on that. Lord willing, this was edifying. But then I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Rakadash. To the next one, Shalom.